A happy Saturday to one and all present here. Respected Commander Abhishek Kankan, respected Pillai Sir, Secretary, Vailankanni Institutions, teachers, and the learners of classes 9, 10, 11, 12. Welcome to this Saturday morning, a very special Saturday morning. We have with us Commander Abhishek Kankan, who is going to help us go ahead with the Veer Gatha project, edition 2.0. Commander Abhishek Kankan, a Gallantry Award winner, is an alumnus of IIM Indore, Defence Services Staff College, Wellington, Naval College of Engineering, Lonavala, and Rashtriya Indian Military College, Dehradun. He is a mechanical engineer with Masters in Defense and Strategy and MDBA. He has successfully completed the one-year advanced program in excellence in project execution from Cranfield School of Management, Bedfordshire, United Kingdom. Commander Abhishek Kankan has 21 years of unique, dynamic career in the Indian Navy, followed by 7 years of work experience in the corporate. He has broad exposure and countless experiences ranging from depths below oceans to the highest point on Earth, from high technological projects of national importance to war zone. In pursuit of his passion for extreme challenges, Commander Abhishek has operated as a Marine Commando in Kashmir Valley in anti-terrorist operations, is a submarine, scuba diver, paratrooper, and led the Kailash Manasarovar Yatra. He was one of the first Indians to do combat water para jumps with US Navy SEALs. To top it, he summited Mount Everest in 2004, creating several world records. He also wears hats of managing projects of national importance, submarine construction, strategic vessel construction. Currently, he is heading a tunneling project and is a corporate trainer and motivational speaker. Commander Abhishek was awarded now Sena Medal Gallantry by the then President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, in 2005. He is also recipient of the Chief of Naval Staff and Commander-in-Chief Commendations on 3 occasions for gallantry, leadership, and innovations. He has been a TED speaker at IIM Ahmedabad and VJTI Mumbai. He has conducted corporate training workshops, leadership and team building modules, project management, outbound programs, motivational talks at various corporates, PSUs, government organizations, educational institutions like IIMs, colleges, and schools across the country. He is the only Indian naval officer, probably only one in the world, to have served in Special Forces, Marcos, Submariner, Everester, and a marine engineer. Commander Abhishek Kankan NM believes that there is streak of adventure, desire to excel, thirst to be an achiever, and nationalism in everyone. His mission is to ignite these streaks in the corporates, organizations, and the young brigade by conducting workshops, coaching, and outdoor activities. My dear learners of Shrine Vailankanni Senior Secondary School, I give you Commander Abhishek Kankan.
Thank you, ma'am, for a very warm introduction. And I hope I'll be able to do justice to your school, to the faculty, and also to the students. I'll take you through my journey today. And I'm sure the students, you may be able to draw your lessons and aims and vision, what you want to do in life. I hope I am a good example. So let's go ahead. I'll share my presentation in which I will be covering generally the various things I've done and with an emphasis on the Everest climb, which I did as a part of the naval team. So I hope your Saturday morning is going to be interesting and nice. I intend to expose you to the world of the Navy, the submarines, also on Marcos, and then, yeah, on top of the world. Okay, I'll share my screen. I hope there are no technical glitches. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, clear, Commander.
Okay, okay. So, Sagar se Sagar Matha, that was the name of our Everest expedition. Sagar, we all know that the sea, and Sagar Matha is the name of Everest, which by which the Nepalese have been calling it for years, for centuries. So it's only the Britishers who came and named it differently, actually. Well, my journeys began in a school called Rashtriya Indian Military College, Dehradun. It is a it's a CBSE based school, and they take one per state. And I was lucky enough to get through. It's located at Dehradun. Then I joined the Navy. I served, volunteered for the Marcos, and then I volunteered for the submarines. And then I also got a chance to go in for Everest as a part of the naval team. Of course, I quit the Navy in 2014, and I'm in the corporate world. And of course, my passion of speaking to young people like you, who are the future of our country, and you're going to take us much, much beyond what we are today. So Marcos, that stands for Marine Commandos. If anyone has any questions or anything, you can come up in the middle. I don't mind. I could share, or probably I could answer the questions even in the end. It's an elite special force. Like there are special forces in the army called the SF, then in the Air Force. Also, you must have heard of US Navy SEALs, who got Osama bin Laden. So this Marcos is very much on similar lines. What you see on the screen is it's called a chariot, unlike what you would have thought or visualized earlier, not with horses. This is called a chariot in which two people can go and plant a mine on an enemy ship. There is something called the water para jumps, which are there, which we do to attack our enemy from the seaside so that he doesn't come to know. And in Marcos, we have a code, which is what we go by, which keeps us motivated. Like maintain the pride of who you are. That pride, self-pride, is very important, and you have to aspire to, to serve in a way that our buddies who sacrificed their lives or, had other difficulties, it doesn't go in vain. So that's very important. Like even in the teams, if you're playing, somebody's playing good, we got to back him up and resolve to be the leader that others follow. We should try to be ourselves an example for others. And of course, choose the harder right over the easier wrong. So that's most important. We will find shortcuts and other things in life, but it's very important for us to choose that harder right, because that is what is going to make a difference. And of course, in Marcos, we operate with fearlessness, with impunity, led by enough belief. Whatever task or mission is given to us, we take it upon ourselves, because most close to our heart is our Tiranga, our flag, and integrity of our country. So let me show you a short video from where you'll get an idea about what are the various activities which Marcos do. Whether the audio comes or not, enjoy the video. That's the Marcos can operate on land, in the sky, on the surface of water and also underwater. So it's really a four-dimensional force, which is pretty different from the other Army and the Air Force forces, special forces. So I served for Marcos for 3 years. I served in the Valley too, and we had great encounter. In fact, our team, we call it Prahar, we did eliminate a terrorist out there. He was the area commander of that place, so that at least there is one enemy less. And we had many other encounters in the valley. You see, we are a growing country, and we have a bright future. So there are a lot of enemies around us, and that's a reality, and we all should be aware of it. So after serving for 3 years in Marcos, I had a change of domain. I got into submarines. So submarines is again totally a different world. I don't know how many of you have gone or visited a ship or a submarine. Uh, Let me show you a small short video. The best part of this video is that first thing it teaches you is this is not a way to take a video. So it is a very candid video, and I would like you to have a look at what you see around in a submarine. So let me play it. That's the engine room actually, and from engine room slowly we'll go into the control room. That's the control room. That's the place from where the submarine is controlled, how to go up, down. You can't see outside a submarine at all. It's only through this periscope that the commanding officer or the officer on the watch can see what is happening outside. Rest all of us have no sunrises, no sunsets. We're not in touch with the world. So that was a submarine, and was the audio coming?
No, Commander. There was no audio.
Okay,
We could hear you explain.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just opened the question answers on the
Yeah.
site. We'll probably take the question answers later, but you can put your questions from whatever you're seeing now on your Q&A screens, and the commander will answer it at the end of the session. Sorry, Commander.
Yeah, no problem. I thought if somebody wants to speak up something, it is fine. I could take it up before we move on to the.
Something, it's just fine. You can turn on your video and then talk. Are you sure? I think we have quite a lot of students, and I'm sure you have questions. So can we have somebody turn on your video and ask a question?
Maybe they'll have a look at the full thing and then.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we'll move on now to the Everest part of it. My screen is visible?
Yes.
My screen is visible?
Visible.
Could everybody confirm that my screen is visible? I can't hear anything.
Yeah, the screen was visible, but again we had an audio loop.
Okay, fine. Okay. Is it visible now and with audio clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. So let's move on to the next phase. Navy planned an expedition to Everest. It was vision of our. It was again a very change of domain because we were operating underwater, as you saw a glimpse of it, and now we are heading towards the mountains. So one thing I would like to tell you kids is that never think that you can't take on new things or it's not in my comfort zone or it is not my forte. You can pick up new skills and there's nothing wrong in trying them. It is wonderful. So then my journey began from the board of dolphins to the land of Yeti. So anybody knows where's Everest? Okay, it's difficult. That's exactly where Mount Everest is. I always thought, that Everest is in the north, but I was that time based in Delhi. And then I realized that Everest is actually east, not really north of Delhi. So many things we do in life which we have our own perceptions, but facts may be very different. For the preparations, like any other thing, we had to undergo basic mountaineering courses, winter training at Siachen, that is the highest battlefield in the world where army is deployed. And we also had expeditions to Mount Suitila, Kamet, and Sasar Kangri. Let me show you a video of what happens in this mountaineering institutes. Before that, I will tell you that we are very lucky as a country to have Himalayas on our north, which are the highest in the world, and people from all over the world come here. Plus, we also have great mountaineering institutes which are highly subsidized by the government of India. So it is, even cheaper than staying in a hotel. So let me show you what happens there. So in the mountains, if you had to tie a rope or something, there are no places. So this is how we put the bolts. This is the ice axe which we use to negotiate very steep climbs and crampons. You can see the shoes. And then to climb down vertical cliffs, we do something called rappelling. I hope you found it good. If you get a chance, certainly don't miss out on this. So I told you Navy was preparing for an expedition to Everest, and in life we all want to do something new, something unique. So we came up with a noble idea that everybody in the world climbs Everest from maybe you are flagged off from Delhi or Chennai or any other place, Melbourne or something like that. But we being in the Navy and having submarines with us, we decided that we would flag off from underwater. So we would not only do the 8848 height of Everest, but would also add 50 meters to it. So that time we took our then defense minister, Mr. George Fernandez, into a submarine and dived somewhere in the Arabian Sea, and then we were flagged off from there. From there, we moved to Nepal, and we, of course, had to have God on our right side because we are going against the elements. So this is the place from where it's called the Friendship Bridge. It is between Nepal and Tibet, from where you cross over to the other side. And the moment you cross over, it's a desert. You must have read in geography, the Himalayas and beyond that. And then you realize that we, again as a country, are so lucky to be on the south of Himalayas. We have all the flora and the fauna. And on the other side, it is just barren land. These are some Tibetan kids out there we came across. Of course, I did try the chopstick, but I could only hold it for the photograph. A lot of slip between the cup and the lip. And we have been preparing for Everest for around 2 years, and this was the first time we actually got to see Everest in front of us physically. It was a great feeling that this is what we have been preparing and how is it going to happen. So we set up a base camp. It's a big logistic nightmare because you have to ensure you're carrying everything. For way up, you're going to set up 5-6 camps for the climb, and you can't call up DHL or someone. I missed my oxygen bottle. Can you just send it? Normal human beings just don't venture out there. So you can't really afford to lose anything. And every morning as we were preparing, we saw Himalayas, the Everest in different shades, hues, and it was mesmerizing plus intimidating to whether we will be able to do it or not. That kind of a feeling, as if a principal or a teacher of a class is overlooking, seeing whether really you are good at it, are you going to do your exam well or not, are you fit to qualify, that sort of a feeling. So that was a route which we are going to take. It's called the Northeast Ridge route. So you can climb Everest through a number of routes. So this is one of them. You can climb from Nepal side also, and also from Tibet side. Tibet side, it is more steep. So it is more difficult than the southern side. And we are at the base camp, and then what we noticed there is, these plaques out there, in memory of so and so, in memory of so and so, who have, not come back while trying to attempt Everest. Suddenly you think, oh God, why have I come here? I was in the Navy, I was an officer in the Navy and doing well. Why to come and take this risk? And that fear of death comes in. But then the fact remains, if you don't take risk in life, you're not going to gain anything. If you don't put in that extra bit, it's not going to happen. So yes, we have to take risk in life, but calculated risk, not be a vagabond. But yeah, there's tremendous potential in us. So we just got to harness it. So we were a Crazy 14 team who were there trying to scale the Everest, and only animals or living thing we found there, even at the base camp, were these mountain goats who came for a few days and left. Otherwise, there was no flora, no fauna out there. And here we were, the most intelligent being in the universe as we think we are, and trying to go further, putting our life into the harm's way. But that's what human beings are. That's how is there in our genes, that we strive to achieve what even can't be thought of. After that, the real climb began. That is, I wrote something in my diary among all that anxiety of, plaques out there at the base camp of people who didn't make it. Anything you want to do in life comes with a price. And if you're ready to pay that price, you'll be happy and satisfied. So here we were taking a risk of a life. We knew things could go wrong, but no, we said that, come what way, we are going to do it. And we're going to take enough precautions. We're going to take, all what it takes to keep us safe, but we are going to try it. We had a small puja out there, and then a trek for the acclimatization started. Now you must be wondering, what is acclimatization? Our body is not designed for those heights. There is lack of oxygen there, it's very cold, but our body is one of the best machines which we have not been able to replicate. It can adjust, it can acclimatize to everything. We follow an acclimatization cycle in which we climb 500 meters, stay there for an hour, come down. Next day we climb that same 500 meters, stay there for an hour, come down. And third day we climbed at 500 meters. That's the height I'm talking of, not the distance. Distance could be much more in kilometers. And we do bed rest for 3 days and then do the next part. Actually, you feel cheated. I've come to climb Everest, which is 8848, but you end up climbing it 4 times the height because of acclimatization and other things. But in life, you have to keep repeating, keep doing things to get perfect at it. So that's a yak. He carries a lot of luggage for us, but only till advanced base camp. After that, we have to hold our own luggage. So that's the glacier with a whole row of yaks. So this is the intermediate camp where due to snow, Everything is weathered off. There was a lake out there. So amongst all the sweat and the cold, we decided to pose. It's always to find some time to do something interesting and have a laugh amongst all the pressures which are there. And luckily, we didn't. The sheet was thick enough to ensure we didn't fall into it. There's the advanced base camp. Well, beauty pageant on the way to Everest. We got to protect our skin because as you go up, the the sheer strength of the sun rays gets so strong that you can get skin cancer. So we have to really take care of our skin. So this is called the North Col, which is actually a vertical climb. You can't appreciate in the photo. It's 3 kilometers vertical climb, and we have to negotiate a route through this. And here, not one person, not one team, but all teams come together to rig up these ropes to climb. So what I'm trying to bring out is that one can't say that I'm the best, I can do everything. No, it is always a team. It is always a group of teams or an organization which ensures success. Except, of course, in exams, you better not look for a team. You do it on your own. That's the camp 1, and from here, as you go up, you keep wearing more and more layers of clothes, and suddenly you feel that it was I who came to climb, but here, it looks like me with three layers of clothes. Let me show you a short video of a climb in the middle. So that's how we are going up for acclimatization. And during acclimatization, we had a whiteout condition in which, I just shown you this photograph where our tents are there. Otherwise, we are supposed to climb up to 8,200 meters, doing this 500 meters thing, and then come down, recuperate, and then go in for the final climb. And that time, my fingers were paining a lot. And I was reminded of this frostbite which I had suffered in the previous expedition before Everest. I got scared that it might happen again. So I was in a dilemma whether should I go ahead and finish the acclimatization or should I go back. And one thing you remember, see, this was a milestone. It was not the ultimate climb for the Everest. We were acclimatizing, and on basis of acclimatization, the team was to be selected. So I decided not to go ahead because if I would have gone ahead and by chance I would have got this frostbite, I wouldn't have been available for the final mission. So in life, you have to, you can have small defeats. As we say in the armed forces, that you may lose a battle, but don't lose the war. So I came back and I was very demoralized that I couldn't do it fully. Of course, I did 90% of the acclimatization, and that's another time which happens in our life. We get depressed or we feel bad, but we got to keep our mind positive. That's important. You should enjoy the present, and you should focus and do some action towards what has gone wrong. And we are living life for oneself. We might, our parents, our teachers may be breathing down our neck to do the right thing. They're doing for our good. So you got to know whatever they're telling is for our good. And life is not a simple maths that you put in effort and you get a result immediately. It takes time. And of course, if you see a glass of water half filled, you should also feel that it is half full instead of thinking, oh, why is it half empty? So mind is very important. And I was very demoralized that time after I couldn't do the acclimatization. So this is something which I wrote in my diary. I'm sharing with you. No success guarantees happiness. So let no failure take away your happiness. There is only one source of happiness, that is you yourself. But keep trying. There are some of the other people who suffered frostbite and other things. There were some tourists who also came to the base camp. We helped them out. There were some people who suffered temporary snow blindness, and we had a nice doctor. Let me show you a video. So amongst all the miseries, we didn't leave an occasion to have fun with each other. Of course, that guy should be sporting, so our doctor was very sporting, and we found happiness in small things amongst extreme climate and extreme conditions. So after this, the team was selected, and we decided to divide into two teams so that and stagger them by a day, so that if one team has avalanche or some other thing, bad weather, our whole mission doesn't get affected. So to get redundancy into the system, we had two teams who were staggered and who were to climb. The final climb, then here we are already acclimatized, so we go to every camp one day at a time, and that's how we keep going up. After 7,500 meters, it's called the dead zone. So we have to have breathe oxygen, and as you go up, it gets more and more crowded. A two-man tent is used as a six-man tent because we only have to carry our tents. We follow something called the buddy system, in which we get tied to each other while climbing, so that if one guy slips, the others can help. And this buddy system is something which we follow even in the armed forces. We never send a person alone, and it really helps. So if you're pursuing some hobbies, some sports, or anything, have a buddy. It will really help you achieve greater success. At the summit camp, and this is the final climb is started in the night, so that you have all the time to come back in the day, which is very important. So that you see me with light headlights as well as snow goggles. You have to cater for the day and the night altogether. And we started a climb. I had a Sherpa with me, and he had climbed Everest before. So actually we got lost on the way. So I asked him which way to go, and he told me, I don't know. I said, you have climbed earlier. He said, I climbed from the Nepal side. And this was a near death experience, because if we slip here, we go wrong, we would go down 3 kilometers. It's a vertical cliff, and even dead bodies are not found. That is the time I realized that, the art of listening. I should have communicated more with my Sherpa and understood his previous experiences, so that, I would have been more prepared than, being in a situation like this where I was totally dependent on him for the route. So in life, you just follow this, art of listening, effective listening. As we went up, break of dawn, and it was like fire on the mountain, but it was actually reflection of the sun. It was very beautiful. But then I had to detach myself from this beautiful view, and because one wrong step and all would go wrong. This is called the first step. Here you have to vertically lift yourself, as I showed you in the video of the training in HMI Darjeeling. And here again, I climbed a bit and I then fainted, because so much effort I was putting in, I was not getting sufficient oxygen. And but luckily I came back to my senses. I was very well tied to the rope, so I didn't fall off, and I did hyperventilate myself and did pranayam, kapal bhati to be exact, and got back that extra oxygen, and then I could climb this. So there are times in life, we'll feel we are going to be a failure, we'll get scared. It is all normal, but the beauty of it is that we got to come out of a comfort zone, and then the success is waiting for you. That's my buddy, Nima Tenzing, my Sherpa. And this was the second step, which is a bit easier than the one. And then you see that the Everest is just there, but unfortunately it doesn't come for another 2 hours of climb. Yes, very close. You see the narrow route to the summit. Let me show you a video. So at last, we had made it to the top after so many months and years of struggle. It was a great feeling uh, to put our national flag out there on top. Some of the things which came to my mind, first thing was, thank God it has come. I have reached. And then, of course, something with Jaggi Vasudevan Sadhguru, he says that enjoy the moment. So I decided, fine, there, whole body is paining and I'm great fatigued, but let me enjoy the moment. And I felt as if, this whole Sampoon Bharatvarsh is on top with me, on top of the Everest. And once I took out the national flag and the naval ensign and saw it flutter in the sky, I just forgot all my pains, all my miseries. I felt great pride in myself and in our country, in our civilization. And of course, a bit later, it dawned on me that only 50% is over. I got to get back safely. So that was it. We came back. We had a press conference, and there were a lot of things in the media. This was in 2004. On 18th, 3 of us climbers climbed. On 19th, 2 of us could climb. We set a number of records. We are the first Navy and only Navy in the world to have climbed Everest. First submariners in the world to have climbed Everest. And we also had the first Indian doctor to have summited Everest. It was time for us to say goodbye and get back from Tibet. We came back, and that time we met the then defense minister. He had changed from Mr. Fernandez to the new one, who later on went on to become the president, if you all know. And that's me. And then, of course, you all recognize him very well. He was the president. We called on him at Rashtrapati Bhavan. So ultimately, from a team of 14, we were 5 of us who were able to summit. And there were no fatalities or any major casualties in our team. That was a good part. Well, some things for you as a part of this project and for life. Have a vision, because without a vision, it doesn't happen. It was a vision of Chief of Naval Staff that we should send a team to Everest, to top of the world. So that's how it happened. Education and concepts are very important. What you're being taught now, to understand the concept, and then you can execute it in life later. Impeccable planning, but at the same time, expect the unexpected. So things may not go always as we think it, but planning is important. Think out of the box, find a solution. Like in the Navy, we decided that we'll be flagged off from a submarine, so we created a number of world records. It was the greatest traverse and a unique expedition. Buddy system, I spoke to you. Yes, it's important. You want to pursue in life, have a buddy. It will really help you. And battles and war, like I couldn't acclimatize. So we may lose some battles. There may be certain times we are not able to do it. You can step back, prepare better, and then go in for it. Have courage, manage your mind, be positive, and that's most important, because if the mind is not positive, your body is not going to perform. Have resilience. There are many failures till you get a success. I'm talking of my successes today. I had many failures in life, and they all taught me. So that's how you have to take things in life. There is no substitute to hard work. Have pride in yourself, pride in your parents, pride in your school, pride in your country. That's more important. We are certainly the best, and that pride needs to come in. We have been a great civilization, and we are moving ahead now. Have that izzat, that pride in yourself. Art of listening, better follow it. Unlike you go my way, where I learned it pretty late but survived. And of course, keep the humor alive in any stressful situation. So that's all from my side. Time does not take time to pass. So act now, study hard, play hard. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Commander. That's a very inspiring journey of yours. We have quite a few questions. I think we can. We'll start from the oldest one first. This one is from Tanushri. Tanushri, can you turn on your camera? What is the scope for lady doctors in Navy, and how long? What is the maximum duration the doctors have to be at sea?
Okay, there's 100% scope for doctors in the Navy, Army, and Air Force, and you can also get permanent commission. You can serve till you superannuate. Uh, yes, postings of ladies are limited at sea, but you do get posted to sea. And with the normal ladies also coming into the Navy, it's only going to increase. So, 100%, you can be a doctor in the Navy. It's a good career.
Thanks, Commander.
Yeah.
Okay, this is from Vinay Sagar. Commander, what will be your advice for us to become a commander like you? Actually, he says best commander like you.
Well, put in hard work. Uh, into the armed forces is a very good service, but to get in is very difficult. You got to clear the written exam. You got to clear something called the SSB, Service Selection Board, which checks your personality, your psychology, your intelligence, how you work in a team, how do you do on your own, what is the awareness of the world. So it's a 360 lens through which you have to go through to become an officer in the armed forces. It's a good career. Time for you now is to do your basics, study hard, uh, keep what do you call do some outdoors, keep yourself fit, uh, lay off as much as you can from the mobile phone and the screen. It is very addictive, but try to be away from it as much as possible, and put in hard work and sweat it out. Go and bleed, go and get a cut. You are at the best time. All opportunities are available to you, so sky is the limit. And in particularly, armed forces is a very good career where you get proper exposure and you have friends for life, whom I can even disturb. I may not contact my coastmates, we call them, for 10 years, and one fine day I find him, or I happen to go to his town, I can even knock at 2 o'clock in the night and tell him, hey, give me a cup of tea or something like that.
Thank you, Commander.
Okay, this one is from Tejashree. What life experience has shaped you and shaped you most?
Well, it's all what do you call mixed bag. Everywhere you learn, and even today I learn every day. So learning is a constant process. Uh, yes, life. We need to put in hard work and put in effort. Have the hunger. If you don't have that hunger in you to do something, you will not be able to be passionate. That doesn't mean you have to be serious in life. Okay, you can have your easy moments. You can be casual at times. Have a mixed bag. So, but yes, if you want to achieve something, have that hunger and be ready for failures. Okay, yes, and don't get demoralized. We will not be able to achieve everything in life. So there are things which you have to go the conventional way. You have to do your academics. As of now, academics is most important, which you got to shine, and all these other uh, uh, things which you fancy, your hobbies or outbounds can come in. But yes, have that hunger in you. That's most important.
Thank you, Commander. This was really inspiring for someone who wants to join the militaries.
Thank you.
Commander, you have been a great inspiration for us, but who was your inspiration to join Navy?
Okay, it happened like this. My father was in the government service. He was posted in Calcutta, Kolkata, and he happened to meet his friend's son, who was in the army. And so he went there. He went to Fort William, and he saw that setup, and he was very impressed with the infrastructure there. He spoke to him, and that's how he came to know about the school called RIMC. So he came and told me that there is a school called RIMC. They take one per state, and it is training you for armed forces. This was at the age of 10 and a half. Once I was 10 and a half, so I got excited as a child. There was nobody from in the armed forces from my family earlier, and so that's how it started. Then I studied. I was a very ordinary student, but probably that hunger to get into a life like that, I just really studied hard. I got through the written exam, the interview, and then the medical, and that's how I landed up in RIMC, and then I got selected for the Navy. And Navy I liked out of the three services because I was from North India, so didn't see the sea much. So sea excited me, and the white uniform excited me. So that's how it happened with me.
Thank you, Commander. You have been a great inspiration for us.
Welcome, Anirudh.
And this is from Shreya Reddy. What is the happiest and successful thing you have experienced while serving India?
Okay, happiest there I can't pinpoint one. Yes, one, as I told you, putting our Tiranga, our national flag on top of Everest was a great thing. Eliminating enemy or terrorist was again a great achievement. Serving on board submarines, doing a successful mission, and at one time saving the submarine from a catastrophe of probably crushing under the depths. They were also great moments. So many of them. And of course, the most happiest thing is that I'm alive to tell all these things. So every day is a source of happiness.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, this one is from Lawrence Rishan. How did you overcome your most difficult time?
Well, I can't. I mean, there are different situations in which you act like for the Everest, I was prone to frostbite. So, in fact, my finger it is amputated a bit. I don't know if you can see it. It is smaller than the rest. So there was a difficult time. I thought that my dream is going to get shattered because I've got frostbite and the medical officer will never let me go, and I'll myself not be fit. So having patience, not panicking, uh, bit analyzing what is going wrong, and prepare better, and then going for it again. So it's not that I have had my failures, certain things I just couldn't do. It is also important to realize after a certain time that, okay, this is not my forte, I can't do it. So leave that part. So that also I have done. So difficult situations, I have generally having patience, being ready for a difficult situation and being ready for a failure, accepting it. So that's the way I have gone about it.
Thank you, Commander, for your kind answer.
This is Sarvesh. What are the most important attributes of a successful leader today? And who is your inspiration and mentor?
Well, there are many things. Everybody has their own style of being a leader, and at your level, I must say it is more important to be a good follower. Uh, so, if you're a good follower, you'll become a good leader. There are various attributes in armed forces. We are very centric to the welfare of our people, our men who are below us, their safety, and our own comfort and everything comes last. First we say that we are towards the mission, what is to be achieved, then our men who are with us for that mission, and then comes ourselves, our comfort and other things. So a successful I will not say, but a leader should be one who really follows this principle. Success has many reasons. It could be how much you have effort you have put in, what is the skill, what is the circumstances, what is the environment, and of course, luck also plays a part of it in that, and how much of blessings we have from our Paramatma, from our gods, because that's the intangible. So, but a leader should, of course, take the team along, think about the team first, and of course, hone the skills, be harsh. Like a leader in for the Everest, one person was not doing well, so he had to take a harsh decision that he should not be in the climbing team. That person felt very bad that he's been removed, but it was very important in the overall thing that the mission is without any casualties. So a leader needs to take harsh decisions and lead from the front.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Commander.
The next question has already been answered. I'm just going to state the question. Hema Yutika, what is the reason for you to join the Navy? I think the commander has already told why he joined the Navy. So the next question is from Aditya Srivatsan. How do you do this kind of hard work? Yeah.
Well, I can share with you secretly that I'm a very lazy guy. Okay, but then as I told you, once you have passion, you have hunger to do something, uh, it gives you immense pleasure. I'm telling you, putting hard work and achieving something really gives you. And even if you don't get the success, the effort you put in, like if you go for a game of football or you go for a trek or you go for a run or you do anything, the kind of happiness which you get is phenomenal. So it makes you work hard. So it's good. That's why I told you, work hard, but don't be too serious in life. You have your casual moments, relax, be lazy also. But yeah, when the time comes, be there to do it.
Okay. Next question is from Yadunandan. What mainly constituted your Marpost training?
Okay, it involved everything, right from your physical fitness was the first thing, and then your mental fitness. You're broken down, lack of sleep, because mentally you have to be very strong, because you're going to be your job is to go behind enemy lines and live off the land in harsh conditions and do the task of destroying or disrupting something. So physical fitness, then weapons training. You are trained to fire from all weapons. You are trained to defuse bombs, also to plant bombs. You are trained in parachute jumping, para jumps at sea, in water. That is, you are trained to dive, scuba diving, underwater. So the training spreads across all, above in the sky, on land, on the surface of water, and also underwater. You're trained how to navigate with stars. You're trained how to navigate in the jungles, uh, how to live off the land. So it's very interesting and it's very tough. I'm calling it interesting now, but once I was undergoing the course, I was in bad shape. I hope it answered your question.
Yeah, the next question is from Vinayak. How were you dedicated to your goal, and how I think he means what inspired you to reach your goal? I think that's what he means.
Yeah, so, as I told you earlier, you have a passion or a hunger for something to achieve that drives you. It's very important to put what's in your mind into action. So it may be very difficult. It may not. So take one step at a time and try to achieve it. I personally, I have one funda in life, that it's better to do a thing and regret than not do and regret. Okay, just being a bit pessimistic it may sound. So it's better to try a thing. Worst thing is that it will not happen. So I followed this funda in my life, that it's better to do a thing and regret than not do. That keeps me going.
Okay, thank you, Commander.
Thank you,
So
sir. It was very worthful to me.
we have about 5 questions here. I think we won't take more questions after this, so don't post any more questions. After the last question is from Priyanka. Okay. Okay. Now, Spousea, how do you keep your team motivated and confident?
Yeah, so that's very important. For that, you need to have a personal connect with people. You got to have empathy. You got to speak to them, not only about the work or what you're doing, but even about their personal life. Share their ideas. Encourage people to speak out, give their ideas. Don't ridicule them if they come out with something. Don't laugh at them, and show them what our mission is, which is something which is very nice, which is we're going to feel very great about it. After that, it's going to give us, if not anything else, personal satisfaction. So that's how it's a constant process. uh, Demotivation and negativity is like a velcro. It just, if crosses you, it gets stuck to you, so you have to remove it every day. It's a constant process. So especially as teenagers, you might feel rebellion and other things, but try to keep your mind positive. uh, the world is not fair. It is not a level playing ground. Be ready for things going wrong, people being you know dishonest or not fair to you. So it's all part of life. So these are like obstacles. Once you play a video game, which video game do you like more, the one which has more obstacles or the one which is a clear road? I'm sure it is the one which is having more obstacles, and you keep dying and keep trying again. So take life also like that. Take all these things in your stride. Just feel that they are supposed to be there. Then you will accept it. Then you will be able to handle them. That's how. I hope it answers the question.
Thank you, Commander.
Okay. This is from Priyanka Roy. What is the one thing that you have been most proud of?
I know. I'm sorry. I can't say one thing. I replied earlier also. So those were the three things probably. And like on submarine, in Marcos and in Everest. So I can't really say one thing.
This is from Kiran Sahani. Did you get distracted from your goal?
Yes, many times get distracted. You tend, there are times once you start thinking, should I really do it? Why am I doing it? All those thoughts do come in. So one thing which helps is like the buddy system. You know, your guy who's with you. Sometimes you are down, so he used to pull me up. Sometimes he used to be down, and I used to pull him up. And then we had a team. So there were times not only we thought of quitting, but or felt depressed, but we are able to overcome it through managing my own mind plus having a buddy or having a team.
Okay, thank you, Commander. The next question is from Pranav. Good morning. First of all, congratulations for being a pride of India by accomplishing many tasks that is only done by few people. My question to you, Commander, is what was it like when you were on top of the world, and what made you to carry on the expedition despite many problems you faced?
Yeah, that pride of putting our Tiranga, our national flag on top is what drives us. Putting the flag of the Navy on top is what drove me and all of us. And of course, what feelings actually I had on top, I've already shared with you in the presentation. First was that, thank God I'm there. But yes, once you decide on doing something, once we knew that Everest was there, there were times like I got frostbite and I thought not be there in the team, or I couldn't acclimatize. You do feel bad, you do feel depressed, everything happens. But the beauty is to overcome that, live through that feeling and overcome it. Share with someone, ask for help, discuss with someone. It really it helps. So that's how one can handle with failures. You don't belittle yourself by asking for help. And as a person, if you find someone going through some suffering or something, seek out and give help. Okay, so that's very important for us to what do you call, be together, make friends for life. Don't be judgmental. I hope it.
Thank you, Commander.
Yeah.
Okay, this is from Father Shafa. Is there someone who was your role model?
Frankly, no single person as a role model, but I'm quite inspired. If you see, by Swami Vivekananda, by so many leaders who have been in the country, are old what do you call, Vedic part, although I have not really read them properly, but all these things inspire me that we had such a great civilization, we had such great our own culture, our own religion. It is so scientific, it is all bound, it caters to all the way of life. So all these things do inspire me. Bhagat Singh, all our freedom fighters. So we got to get our name back into the world, what we actually deserve. These are the things, not really one person or so, but it's a whole bundle of people and our own civilization, which inspires me.
We have two more questions. This one is from Charunetran. Gallantry awards have been instituted by the government to honor the acts of bravery and sacrifices of the officers of the armed forces. Commander, how you felt when you were one among the Gallantry Award winners? How an award or appreciation shapes one's action?
Yes, it really felt good to be acknowledged for the feat which I had achieved. It certainly acts as a motivator. Plus, also it puts responsibility on me to act as a good citizen and to strive further, more, to achieve more and to give back to the country. So it inspires me more to give back of whatever I am doing to the society, to the country, to the people around me.
The last one is probably, I think you already answered it, but I'm still going to read out the question. It's from Priyanka Roy. What kind of difficulties did you face while trekking Mount Everest?
It was all difficulties only. You don't get oxygen to breathe. You don't get a cozy bed to sleep. You are in what we call sleeping bags. Your feet pain, all your extremities pain, your nose tips, earlobes, everything pains because of cold. Still, once you're climbing, you're sweating inside. You don't feel like eating. You have high altitude sickness like headaches. You don't get sleep. Uh, your tempers go wild. Your teammates' tempers go wild because you are in physical, mental discomfort. But at the end of it, the kind of as I told you, the kind of feeling, the high which I got on seeing the Tiranga flutter in that wild storm, in that breeze on top of Everest, it made me forget all the miseries which I went through. And so anything which you actually go through difficulties and achieve, you will get more pleasure out of it. So it is not a goody sport. There's lot of hardship in it, but the end of it gives you much more than what you've gone through.
Thank you.
Commander.
Yeah.
Welcome.
So we had few more questions, but for want of time, we are just going to stop here. And I think it has been very, very nice, inspirational to having shared your time with us. I'm sure our children would definitely be inspired to join the Navy, climb Everest, go down on a submarine, be an engineer, do everything. You have a lot of hats that you have worn all through your career, and I'm sure our children really enjoyed this session, especially here in Chennai. It's been raining for the last 2 days, and I think this is a welcome break because I think they imagine that they're getting break from online classes, but their classes are going to start in about another half hour. So it's been very nice having you with us, sir. We thank you for spending so much time on a weekend, and we look forward maybe when in case you're coming to Chennai to drop into our school. We are a very old school. We have been around for around 58 years now, and we are in the heart of the city, so you really can't miss us. And we will connect. Mansa Madam will connect with you offline. We thank you very much for this session. Thank you.
Pleasure is entirely mine. Thank you. All the best, children. You got a bright future. Work hard. Have that hunger. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Commander.
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 And just a quick note, teachers and students, your session starts at 10:30. Stick to your timetable that's been sent by mail to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Abhishek, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Mansa Madam had first little bit of technical difficulty.
Thank you, Commander.
And also, so she will connect with you offline.
Sure.
And we really thank you for having spent so much time with our children.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Jai.
Thank you, Commander. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commander.
Welcome.
Thank you, Commander.